The door slammed shut behind Poppy with a force that echoed through the quiet suburban street of Maplewood, New Jersey, her father's voice still ringing in her ears. "You're no daughter of mine." At 18 she stood frozen on the porch, backpack slung over one shoulder, the weight of betrayal crushing her chest as tears blurred the familiar white picket fence. Hope, her secret girlfriend from high school, had been exposed in a single devastating moment. A stolen kiss caught by her conservative parents during a family barbecue, turning love into exile overnight. Poppy's mind raced back to that afternoon, the sun dipping low, casting golden hues over the backyard where laughter had once filled the air. She had thought they were safe, hidden in the shadow of the old oak tree, but her mother's sharp eyes had pierced the illusion. The confrontation exploded like a bomb. Accusations of sin, demands for repentance, and ultimatums that shredded her soul. "Choose your family or this abomination," her father had bellowed, his face twisted in righteous fury. Poppy's heart screamed to fight back, to declare her love unapologetically, but fear clamped her throat shut. Instead she whispered, "I can't change who I am," sealing her fate. As she trudged down the street, the neighborhood lights flickering on like judgmental eyes, Poppy's thoughts swirled in turmoil. Why me? Why couldn't they see that loving Hope wasn't a choice, but a truth etched into her very being? Hope had promised to stand by her, but in the chaos her girlfriend's parents had whisked her away, leaving Poppy alone with a crumpled note. "I'll find you. Stay strong." But strength felt like a distant myth now, as the chill of the evening seeped into her bones. She had no money, no plan, just the burning resolve not to break. Hitchhiking out of town that night, Poppy's inner voice waged war. "You're worthless," it taunted, echoing her parents' words. "No, you're free," another part countered, fragile but fierce. She ended up in New York City, crashing on a distant cousin's couch, the city's relentless pulse mirroring her heartache. Days blurred into nights of odd jobs, waitressing, cleaning to survive. Each shift she replayed the betrayal. Her mother's tears, not of sorrow but disappointment, as if Poppy had died. The pain gnawed at her, fueling a quiet ambition. "I'll show them," she muttered to herself in the mirror of a dingy apartment, eyes hardening. College came on scholarships scraped together, majoring in business at NYU, where the diversity offered a balm to her wounds. But scars lingered. She dated sparingly, always guarded, the ghost of hope haunting her dreams. What if Hope had fought harder? What if I had? The questions looped endlessly, driving her to excel. Internships turned into jobs, jobs into startups. Poppy's sharp mind for tech innovation caught eyes. By 25, she co-founded an app that revolutionized social networking for marginalized communities. Success built like a snowball, but inside the void persisted. 15 years later, Poppy Monroe, now a billionaire tech mogul, stared out the window of her private jet descending into Newark Airport. The skyline evoked a flood of memories, bitter and sweet. Her company, Echolink, had gone public, making her one of Forbes' top women in tech. Yet, the call from her estranged sister last week shattered her carefully constructed walls. "Dad's dying. He wants to see you." Poppy's heart clenched. Forgiveness? Or another trap? She hadn't spoken to her family since that fateful day, building an empire on the ruins of rejection. But curiosity and unfinished business pulled her back. Stepping into the rental car, Poppy's thoughts churned. What hidden truth could possibly justify the pain? Her father's conservatism had roots in his own upbringing, but that didn't excuse the abandonment. As she drove toward Maplewood, the familiar road stirred dread. Hope, where was she now? Married? Happy? The name alone ignited old flames. Poppy gripped the wheel tighter, steeling herself for confrontation. This wasn't just a homecoming. It was reckoning. Arriving at the old house unchanged yet faded, Poppy knocked with a steady hand. Her mother opened the door, eyes widening in shock. "Poppy, is it really you?" The embrace was tentative, laced with years of unspoken regret. Inside, the air hung heavy with illness. Her father lay in the living room bed, frail and hooked to machines. "Daughter," he rasped, tears in his eyes. Poppy's resolve wavered. Why now? What secret had festered in this house for 15 years? As she sat by his side, he whispered, "There's something you need to know about Hope." Poppy's breath caught. Hope? The name pierced like a dagger. Her mind flashed to their last moments, the promise broken by circumstance. She never left you by choice, he continued, voice trembling. Poppy leaned in, heart pounding as the story unraveled. A web of lies spun by both families to separate them. But why? The revelation hung in the air, promising to upend everything she thought she knew. Poppy's father, Elias, coughed weakly, his hand grasping hers with surprising strength. It was all a setup, Poppy. Your mother and I. We thought we were protecting you. Protecting? The word tasted like ash in her mouth. She pulled back slightly, eyes narrowing. Protecting me from what? From love. Her inner turmoil boiled. 15 years of building walls, only to face this? Elias glanced at his wife, Martha, who hovered in the doorway, wringing her hands. Tell her, he urged. Martha's voice cracked as she began. Hope's family. They were influential in town. Her father was the mayor back then. When we caught you two, he came to us that night furious. Said if word got out, it would ruin his reputation, his career. Poppy's mind reeled. So it wasn't just religious zeal, it was politics, power plays. He threatened to expose our family's debts. Martha continued. We were on the brink of bankruptcy, your father's business failing. He offered to bail us out if we separated you girls. The confession hit like a gut punch. Poppy's thoughts screamed. Betrayed not just by blood but by greed? She stood abruptly, pacing the room. You sold me out for money? Threw me to the streets? Elias nodded feebly. We thought you'd move on, find a normal life. We were wrong. Wrong didn't begin to cover it. Poppy's success had been her armor, but now cracks formed. What if she'd known? Would she have fought differently? That evening, alone in her old bedroom, preserved like a museum of lost youth, Poppy scrolled through her phone, searching for Hope online. LinkedIn profiles, social media ghosts. There she was, Hope Sinclair, now a lawyer in Philadelphia, married with kids? No, single, advocating for LGBTQ rights. Irony twisted in Poppy's gut. She dialed the number listed, heart thundering. Hello. Hope's voice, unchanged, sent shivers down her spine. It's Poppy. Silence stretched, then a gasp. Poppy? Oh my God. They met the next day at a neutral cafe in Trenton, halfway between worlds. Hope arrived first, her short blonde hair catching the light, emerald dress flowing like a memory. Poppy's breath hitched, still beautiful, still the one who got away. They hugged awkwardly, the years melting into charged air. I never stopped thinking about you, Hope admitted, eyes glistening. Poppy's inner voice urged caution. Trust her? After everything? But the pull was undeniable. Over coffee, Hope spilled her side. My parents locked me down, therapy, grounding, threats to disown me. They said you'd left willingly, hated me for outing us. Lies upon lies. Poppy shared her exile, the rise from ashes. I became who I am because of that pain, she said, voice steady but laced with hurt. Hope reached across the table. I tried to find you, but they monitored everything. The reunion stirred old flames, but shadows loomed, betrayal's echo. Back in Maplewood, Poppy confronted her parents again. Why hide this for so long? Elias, weaker now, sighed. Guilt. And fear you'd hate us more. Hate simmered, yes, but pity crept in. Society's grip had twisted them all. Poppy's mind wrestled. Forgive to heal, or hold grudge to protect. She chose action, donating to local LGBTQ centers, using her wealth as a weapon against the bigotry that scarred her. Yet doubts nag. Hope's story aligned, but was there more? A late-night call from her sister, Lila, hinted at deeper secrets. Dad's not telling everything about Hope's family. Poppy's pulse quickened. What hidden truth? She drove to Philadelphia, unannounced, to Hope's office. We need to talk, really talk. Hope's face paled. Poppy, some things are better left buried. But Poppy pressed, the drama escalating. Hope confessed. My father didn't just bail them out. He blackmailed your dad with something else. An affair from years ago. Poppy staggered. Her father's infidelity? The moral high ground crumbled. Why tell me now? Hope whispered. Because seeing you again. I can't live with the lies anymore. Tears flowed, decisions loomed. Poppy's heart tore. Embrace this messy truth, or walk away forever. The confrontation with her father followed, raw and unfiltered. Is it true? Elias nodded, shame etching his features. I cheated on your mother once. Hope's dad found out, used it against us. The family facade shattered. Poppy's thoughts raged. Everyone's flawed, but at what cost? Her mother's silent tears spoke volumes, enduring for the kids' society. The weight of generational trauma pressed down. Poppy sat in the dim hospital room. Her father transferred there as his condition worsened, staring at the beeping monitors. The revelations piled up like storm clouds, each one darkening her resolve. How could you live with this? She demanded of her mother, who clutched a rosary. Martha's eyes pleaded. For the family. For you and Lila. But Poppy saw through it. Fear of scandal, of judgment from their tight-knit community. Inside she battled. Am I any better hiding my pain behind success? Hope arrived unexpectedly, her presence a lifeline amid chaos. I heard about your dad, she said softly, slipping into the chair beside Poppy. Their hands brushed, electric. Why come? Poppy asked, voice laced with suspicion. Hope met her gaze. Because despite everything I still care. Deeply. The admission cracked Poppy's armor. Memories flooded. Stolen glances in school hallways, whispered promises under stars. But trust? Fractured by years. That night they walked the hospital grounds, the cool air sharpening their words. I married once, Hope confessed. A man to please my parents. It ended in divorce, couldn't fake it. Poppy's jealousy flared unbidden. And me? Was I just a phase? Hope stopped, turning to face her. No. You were real. The only real thing. The tension built, words unsaid hanging heavy. Poppy's mind whispered. Risk it again? Or protect your heart? Back home Lila pulled Poppy aside. There's more. Dad's will. He's leaving everything to you, but with conditions. Conditions? Poppy's business acumen kicked in. What kind? Lila hesitated. Renounce your lifestyle. Or it goes to charity. Outrage surged. Even in death, control? Poppy stormed to the hospital. Is this true? Elias, pale but defiant, nodded. For your soul, Poppy. Her laughter was bitter. My soul survived without you. The standoff escalated. Poppy refused, but the moral dilemma gnawed. Take the money for good causes or reject on principle. Hope advised. Use it against them, fund equality. Their bond strengthened in crisis, late-night talks revealing depths. Hope's advocacy work stemmed from their trauma. Poppy's empire from isolation. We're products of the same pain, Poppy realized inwardly. But unity brought risks, media scrutiny on her return. Tabloids caught wind. Billionaire lesbian heiress faces family feud. Society's gaze intensified, echoing old prejudices. Poppy's board worried about stock dips. Friends questioned her choices. Inside she questioned too. Am I fighting for us or revenge? A heated argument with Hope followed. You're pushing too hard, Hope accused. This isn't just about us. It's your war. Poppy snapped. It is about us. They tore us apart. Hurt flashed in Hope's eyes, a chasm opening. Reconciliation attempts faltered. Poppy visited her father alone. Why the condition? He sighed. I see now. I was wrong. But change is hard. Vulnerability peeked through his facade. Poppy's heart softened fractionally. Change or lose me forever. The ultimatum hung. A mirror to her past. Elias wept, promising amendment. But trust? Earned, not given. Hope's own family re-entered the fray. Her father, now retired, called Poppy. Stay away from my daughter. Threats veiled as concern. Poppy's defiance ignited. You don't control us anymore. The call ended in shouts, but seeds of doubt planted. What if Hope buckled again? Poppy's inner monologue tormented. Love requires faith, but faith betrayed once. A pivotal dinner ensued. Poppy, Hope, and both families in a neutral restaurant. Tensions crackled. Accusations flew. You ruined our girls. You prioritized image over love. Poppy stood, voice steady. Enough. We're not girls anymore. We're women who deserve happiness. Hope joined her, hand in hand. The act of solidarity shifted the room, but not without cost. Her mother stormed out, Elias silent in his wheelchair. As the night wore on, Poppy reflected. Every choice exacts a price. Her empire thrived, but personal peace eluded. Hope stayed over, their conversation deep into dawn. What now? Hope asked. Poppy's answer came from the heart. We rebuild together. But shadows lingered, the hidden truth fully unearthed? Not yet. A letter arrived the next day. Anonymous, hinting at more secrets. Poppy's resolve hardened. Uncover it all, no matter the pain. The anonymous letter burned in Poppy's hand, postmarked from Maplewood. The truth about Hope's disappearance isn't what you think. Disappearance? She thought it was separation. Paranoia crept in. Who sent this? Her father's nurse? A family friend? Poppy's mind raced. Another layer of deception? She showed it to Hope, whose face drained of color. Ignore it. It's probably a prank. But Poppy couldn't. Secrets destroyed us once. Not again. Investigation began discreetly. Poppy hired a private investigator, using her resources. Days turned tense, Hope withdrawing slightly. Why dig up the past? She pleaded. Poppy's response. Because the past shapes us. Internally doubt festered. Is Hope hiding something? Their rekindled romance teetered. Kisses laced with unspoken fears. Society's pressure mounted. Protests outside her company. Conservative groups decrying her agenda. Poppy stood firm, but the toll weighed heavy. The PI reported back. Hope was sent to a conversion camp that summer. Conversion camp? Poppy's blood boiled. My parents knew? Confirmation came, Elias had agreed to it in the deal. Betrayal deepened. Confronting Hope. Why lie? Tears streamed. Shame. It broke me. Poppy held her, but anger simmered. We could have fought together. Hope's whisper. I was scared. The admission humanized her, but trust frayed further. Family dynamics imploded. Poppy accused her parents. You sent her to hell. Martha defended. We thought it would help. Elias, nearing the end, begged forgiveness. I see my mistakes now. Poppy's heart warred. Pity or justice? She chose both, revoking the will's condition legally, donating portions to anti-conversion therapy groups. The act empowered but isolated. Lila sided with parents, calling her vindictive. Hope's father resurfaced, suing for defamation after Poppy's public speech exposing the past. Court battles loomed, drama peaking. This is war, Poppy thought, steeling for fight. Hope testified beside her, their bond tested in fire. I love you, Hope declared on stand, defying her family. The moment electrified, but victory's cost. Media frenzy invaded privacy. Old wounds reopened. In quiet moments, Poppy's inner reflections deepened. Was success worth this chaos? Love flawed and fought for, perhaps yes. But sacrifices mounted. Friends distanced, business deals soured. A betrayal struck. Her COO leaked info to tabloids for gain. Trust no one, her mind echoed. Firing him, Poppy rebuilt, Hope by her side. We're stronger, Hope assured. Yet, the letter's sender remained elusive. Clues led to Lila. Confrontation. Why? Lila confessed. To force truth out. Dad's dying wish. More manipulation. Poppy's rage peaked. Family means nothing if built on lies. Reconciliation tentative but progress. Elias passed peacefully, whispering apologies. Funeral tensions. Hope attended, defying norms. Poppy's eulogy raw. He was flawed like us all. Post-funeral, Hope and Poppy escaped to the coast, seeking solace. Waves crashed, mirroring turmoil. Do we deserve happiness? Poppy pondered aloud. Hope's kiss answered, but questions lingered. Society evolved slowly. Their story sparked debates online. Poppy's company launched a foundation for queer youth, turning pain to purpose. But personal healing? Ongoing. The hidden truth climaxed. The letter revealed Hope's brief relapse post-camp, dating men under pressure. I betrayed myself, Hope admitted. Poppy's heart shattered anew. And us. Forgiveness teetered. We were kids, Hope pleaded. Poppy's decision. We choose now. They parted ways temporarily, space to process. Alone, Poppy reflected. Love's price worth it? Reunion inevitable, drawn by gravity. I can't lose you again, Poppy confessed. Hope agreed, vows renewed. But society pushed back, threats, vandalism. They stood united, advocates now. The journey's cost. Scars but growth. Poppy's empire flourished. Personal life balanced precariously. Months blurred into a fragile peace, Poppy and Hope navigating their renewed relationship amid lingering storms. Poppy's Manhattan penthouse became their sanctuary, but echoes of the past infiltrated. "Do you ever regret coming back?" Hope asked one evening, wineglass in hand. Poppy paused, staring at the city lights. "Regret? No. But the pain. It's etched in." Internally she weighed. Discovery brought truth, but at what emotional toll? Professional repercussions hit hard. Investors pulled out, citing distractions. Poppy fought back, pivoting her company toward inclusive tech. Success rebounded, but isolation grew. Friends from her rise distanced, fearing association. "You're a lightning rod," one said. Poppy's mind countered. "Better authentic than safe." Hope's law firm faced backlash too. Clients fleeing. "We pay for visibility," Hope noted bitterly. Their bond deepened in adversity, decisions shared. A major confrontation arose. Hope's mother reached out, apologetic. "I see now, love is love." Skepticism reigned. Poppy advised caution. "Words are cheap." Meeting ensued, tense but revealing. "Your father pressured me too," she confessed. Generational cycles exposed, Poppy's empathy stirred. "Break it," she urged. Slow mending began, but not without setbacks. Arguments, relapses into old patterns. Poppy's own reflection intensified. Therapy sessions unpacked trauma. Abandonment fears, success as shield. "I built an empire to prove worth," she admitted. Hope joined sessions, their stories intertwining. "We survived apart, thrived together." But Mouthwandowduk surfaced. Use wealth to expose more? Or heal privately? Poppy chose hybrid, anonymous funding for exposés on conversion therapy. Impact rippled, lives saved. Society's mirror reflected change. Pride parades featured their story, inspiring youth. But hate mail persisted, testing resolve. A close call, stalker arrested, shook them. "Is this worth it?" Poppy questioned inwardly. Hope's answer: "You are." Commitment solidified. Rings exchanged in private ceremony. No fanfare, just truth. Yet, the ultimate test. Lila's pregnancy announcement, inviting reconciliation. "For the baby," she said. Poppy attended the shower. Awkward but hopeful. Family evolves, she thought. Interactions warmed. Past forgiven incrementally. Elias's legacy. Lessons in error. Poppy honored it by living openly. High drama peaked with a documentary offer. Their story on screen. Expose the hidden truths, producers urged. Debate raged. Relive pain for awareness? Hope hesitated. "We've paid enough." Poppy pushed. For those still suffering. They agreed, filming raw sessions. Revelations aired. Family deals, camps, betrayals. Public outcry followed. Laws changed, awareness surged. But personal cost. Privacy lost forever. In aftermath, Poppy pondered the trade-offs. Success, love reclaimed, but innocence gone. Was it all predestined? She wondered. Hope's embrace grounded her. Life moved forward, adoption discussions, joint ventures. Scars faded, strength endured. As years hinted at stability, Poppy looked back. Kicked out, risen, truths uncovered. The journey's essence. Choices define us, consequences shape. But one question lingered, sparking endless debate in her mind and beyond. Was it right to unearth every hidden truth, even if it meant reopening wounds that might never fully heal?